Ah yes, Drake's Fortune, the very first Uncharted game. If you've never played the game before, then this will probably be the only video you'll ever need to watch, and it pretty much goes like this. You play as Mr. Witty and charming Nathan Drake.
You make it sound so dirty.
Who is a self-proclaimed deep sea and salvage expert and action pro, but really, he's just a thief and a cold-blooded killer. We start our journey off the coast of Panama looking for Sir Francis Drake's coffin in the ocean with journalist and eventual turned lover and baby mama Elena Fisher. Before we can even take over and get any gameplay, Nathan pries the lid off the coffin, finds Sir Francis Drake's remains and treasures, the credits roll, and that's the game. Just kidding, but if you've played Tomb Raider or watched any Indiana Jones movies, which we'll get to later, or hell, even the Goonies, you'll get where we're going here. Hints that lead you to hints, that lead you to hints, that lead you to hints, hinted by, from an earlier hint. You got it? Got it. Anywho, Sir Francis Drake isn't really there, duh, but we come to learn from Francis's left behind diary that he faked his own death to try and find the mythical city of El Dorado. Before too long, a bunch of pirates come along, ruining our party, and it's time for us and Elena to start slaying some booty.
You point and shoot, right?
Good girl.
It doesn't take long to realize that Nate must be a long-lost cousin of Mike Tyson, because this man can pack a punch. After what ends up being the first of many Hollywood-esque gameplay moments and scenes from this series, we are saved by our good friend, Mr. Victor Sullivan, aka Sully. Unfortunately for us, Sully's more interested in wooing over Elena than to let us into the plane. What a jerk.
For Christ's sakes.
With us being saved, we're off to look for the hidden city of El Dorado. Now saved and returned to land, Nate and Sully discuss the best way to try and find the secret treasure of El Dorado, which apparently the best way to do that is by getting rid of all cases of chivalry, as we leave Elena and her impressive NPC sharpshooting skills behind on land.
Should have seen that one coming.
On top of being a sharpshooter and a world-class boxer, Nate is also the best proof that we have that evolution may have ever been a thing, because his climbing skills are very monkey-esque and quite impressive, actually, to be honest. Nate and Sully end up running into an underground temple and escaping some booby traps that Naughty Dog couldn't help but put in the game to give us some borderline Crash Bandicoot vibes. Thanks for the nostalgia, Naughty Dog. With our serotonin boosted, we find the world's only on-land submarine, which ends up having the map we need to help find our treasure. When we exit the boat, we run into Sully and some of his not-so-friendly friends and their main baddie, Gabriel Roman. We decide to hand over a map we just found, and to make things worse, they end up shooting and killing Sully.
Sully! Sully!
Rip, buddy. Thankfully for us, the U-boat hates awkward situations, so an old torpedo detonates inside, which is the perfect excuse to get up out of here and escape. As we're running, we stumble across Elena, who miraculously finds us on the island. Apparently Roman brought a bunch of his goons for hire, but unfortunately for Roman, their aim is worse than most stormtroopers. With Sully dead and us finally free from Roman's goons, we escape with Elena in our plane, only for it to be shot out of the sky by some people who are quite jealous of our aviation skills. So we have to resort to jumping out of the plane and get welcomed into a jungle Guns N' Roses style. We do some killing in the jungle, killing on the cliffs, climbing some cliffs, killing in the sewers. Yeah, you get the point. We do a lot of killing here. Unfortunately for us, we get captured yet again by old-time buddy Eddie Raja, who wants us to help him find the treasure of El Dorado or else he'll kill us. Tough decision. Unfortunately for Eddie, we ain't got no time for bartering, and Elena busts open our cell prison break style, and we're off on an epic chase.
Well, come on!
Also, luckily for us, the Jeeps have 50 calibers on them, so yeah, convenient for us. We roam around and explore for a little bit before we realize that Sully isn't actually dead.
Well, you're looking awfully good for a corpse.
Turns out all that cigar smoking was actually good for him and kept him alive this whole time. Good for us as well, Sully has led all the baddies to the fake location of a treasure, and he runs into us conveniently. Convenience is key. With the gang reunited, we work our way through a weird maze contraption and reunite with our old pal Eddie. Yeah, that guy, that Eddie. You know who tried to kill us before? And it's time for a good old Western showdown. Now, Uncharted thus far has been pretty predictable. We've had a lot of platforming, gunfights, action scenes, creepy Wendigo looking things. Wait, what the f? Creepy Wendigo things? Turns out these fellas don't take too kindly to us having our showdown in their homes, so they decide to give Eddie and his pal some free skydiving lessons minus the parachute, and we're left alone to prep for this Wendigo party ourselves.
You have got to be kidding me.
We do some more platforming so Nate can show off his sick upper body skills, and then we get invited to the creepy creature party where they want us to show how they've lived all these centuries before we escape. Things are looking up for us when, oh no, Elena has been captured and it's our turn to go save her. We go to rescue Elena, and the party we were told about has finally started. It's between our Wendigo-looking friends and our main human baddies. And as any good Hollywood movie will tell you, we have finally found the treasure that we've so desperately sought this whole time, right at the same time as the main baddie of the game, Gabriel Roman. And unfortunately for Mr. Roman, he clearly never watched Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is a shame because, one, that's a great movie, and two, he would realize not to be the first one to open the cursed treasure chest. It turns out Navarro played him like a fiddle. Which, by the way, hey, there's some baddie called Navarro as well. Glad I could inform you guys on that. So, yeah, Navarro, bad guy. And just a quick rundown on Navarro. He's a pretty bad guy with a pretty cool accent, but he decides his cool accent isn't enough in life, and he wants the cursed treasure for himself to start his own creepy creature army, which means it's time for an epic showdown. No creepies included this time. Well, kinda, sorta. You mostly kill some goons while Navarro escapes, then do some quick dodges and quick time events before Navarro forgets how to tie his shoe and gets dragged down to the bottom of the ocean with his cursed treasure. Oh, what a happy ending for him. With Navarro finally dead and all the baddies in this game taken care of, the only thing left to defuse is the now learned sexual tension between Nathan and Elena. Before we secure our kiss, Sully decides this is a great time to cock block to avoid a typical movie cliche. Thanks for that, Sully. Sully, being the cigar-smoking son of a that he is, though, gets us a nice escape boat loaded with actual non-cursed treasure, and we ride off into the sunset to begin one of the best video game series ever made.
Hadn't have funded this expedition, you wouldn't have.
got your story, lady.